Do you know about the psychic gift of clairtangency? Well, I'm going to talk about it through the lens of a Akashic record reading that I just did with a client. So clairtangency is the psychic insight of touch. And so a lot of times when you research about clairtangency, it says, oh, well, it's kind of a form of mediumship where you can touch the items of past loved ones and receive information about them. But it actually goes far beyond that, and maybe that is the way that you like to channel information from past loved ones, but maybe not. And so you can actually channel information from oracle cards or crystals or plants. It's really anything, because anything has consciousness and everything comes from the Akasha field. So what you can do as an energy healer, psychic, is you can actually channel information through things to help yourself or to help other people. So let's take this oracle card, for example. Okay, so the oracle card itself has messages and meanings. However, if you are trying to connect with another person through a session, you can actually give them healing through the oracle card or through the crystal or through the plant or through the feather or through the talisman or amulet. Every time that I do Akashic record readings with people, I always build them a crystal grid, and then I have these talisman and these different type of amulets that help release or amplify certain energies. So what I've done is I actually go in and energetically set what I want them to do for clients, and then their crystal grid is actually funneling through the talisman and the amulets, and the crystals are funneling through their chakra system. So yes, if you have clairtangency, you can touch things and pick up bits of information, or you can channel through things as well. So when I went into my client's Akashic records, a different timeline version of her came up or came forward, and all of a sudden I was surrounded by all this sand, and I was walking around with her, and she was actually moving the sand with her hands, with her energy. She was a part of this tribe, and they revered her as a goddess in this timeline because of how attuned she was with her clairtangency gifts. And I said, oh, interesting. I said, what do you do with the sand? And she said, oh, you can do all kinds of things. She said, you can build homes, you can protect yourself or protect other people. She can purify water, because there wasn't a whole lot of water sources around, so she could actually draw sand and impediments out of it to make it clean for everybody. And she also had another gift that everybody can learn how to do. She's just already proficient in it in this different timeline. It was going to teach my client how to do it, serving as her mentor. So when you have PTSD or trauma or unprocessed emotions, it hardens and crystallines in your body, and then it disrupts your chi flow or your life force energy, and it can be trapped in your organs or in your meridian lines, in just different parts, and it can cause anxiety, depression, all sorts of things. My client had very powerful hand chakras already in this incarnation. She said that she could close her eyes and imagine that she is pulling up the sand or crystalline energy in her body and finding the frequencies of things that need to be released or amplified, and envision holding them in her hand and actually speaking to the pain, the trauma, the unprocessed emotions, and asking them questions like, how can I help you better release? How can I help you heal? How can I hold space for you? And actually talk to them as a consciousness within herself. Asked her if there's anything else that she wanted my client to know, and she pointed towards a portal, and I said, oh, do you want me to walk in that? And she said, yeah. And she said she needs to rectify, and I said, rectify what? And then she pointed to the portal again, so I walked over there, and then when I went through, I saw all these wars throughout history, like different time periods. I came out of the portal, I said, oh, did she have something to do with these wars? And she said, we all do. We are all participatory in these things that have happened throughout history, so we all need to rectify these things, and that's what we're doing on individual levels, especially those of us in the collective consciousness that are healing and growing and evolving and supporting and helping one another. She said, but the war that you have to start with is the war within yourself. That is the anxiety, depression, trauma, PTSD, behavioral patterns, triggers, all these things that we need to release that are not us at our core, at our multidimensional self. There are things that we were taught or programmed with, capitalism, wars, all these different things. They're filter lenses that keep you from the trueness of who you really are. As my client was also asking questions about her soul purpose, but doing so kind of from a place of rooted in not enoughness and still working on her self-concept and things like that. And so sometimes we're externalizing our soul purpose and saying like, oh, I have to get it right, or the cosmos or the universe, you know, saying I have to do things a certain way. Your soul purpose is you. Okay? It's whatever that you want to do and how you want to show up in the world. I think that we see so many reflections of people that are causing hurt and harm, and us as empaths and light workers want to make sure that we're showing up in our best capacity, because we all have the understanding that we are all one. And so the more that we help others, the more we help ourselves, and vice versa, and that's how we shift as a collective. But there's no type of person that's kind of standing over you saying like it has to be this way or you have to do this. It's however that you want to show up in the world, and how you want to express yourself creatively, and how you want to build your own world within the bigger world. And I said that's part of the war, the internal war that sometimes we're feeling of not enoughness, or not showing up how we need to be showing up. You follow your joy and your bliss and your happiness and your magic, and that's exactly where you're supposed to be. I also said it doesn't matter about the modalities. Modalities are perceptual lenses for you as source, okay? And how you express yourself. But that doesn't have anything to do with you being an energy healer at your core and being a compassionate, empathetic, wonderful, warm, inviting, joyous person, okay? The modality is the tool, but you are the creator behind that tool. And so a couple different things that could help her with amplifying her clairtangency gifts are learning about chakras, and specifically hand chakras. When you learn about chakras in general, it helps you read yourself and read other people on a deeper level. But if you're an energy healer, a lot of times you already have activated hand chakras, and they're known as like healing hands. But you can definitely amplify clairtangency gifts through working with your hand chakras. Also learning about qigong, that helps you learn how to regulate your aura and how to channel your life force energy through you more clearly. Also learning about meridian lines. Those are the interconnected pathways through your body where energy flows through, the chi flows through. It connects your skin and your organs and your brain and your chakras and your light field, your light body, all the different things. And I would love to hear in the comments if you learned something new today, or if this resonated with you, and if you want to learn how to open up and expand your spiritual gifts and how to determine what they are and how to amplify your channeling abilities. You should check out my Quantum Evolution Academy program that's starting in February. You can go to my profile and click, or check the comments or the description box below.